Tomorrow, again, VIP session starts an hour earlier. So now that more and more of you guys are VIPs, make sure you show up 1 hour earlier than we did today, which I can't remember. Let's see, we started at 11 Mountain Time, which is 1 Eastern, noon Central, 11 Mountain, or 10 Pacific. Anyway, so that's VIPs, and then general happens right afterwards. But come to the VIP session. It's going to be amazing. We'll keep going deeper on these kind of things. The VIP sessions are going a little bit deeper. So if you want to go a little deeper and geek out with us, come to the VIP sessions. And again, now that you upgraded VIP, you'll have access to that as well. Okay? Okay, we've been going for about an hour and 45 minutes. That's the core training part, but I know that you guys have got so many questions coming through here. We're gonna try to answer as many as we can. I've had our team on the back end, as you guys are asking questions, trying to pull in as many as we can, as quick as possible. One of my friends, McCall Jones, some of you guys know McCall Jones. If you guys know McCall, type McCall in the comments. I had her go and curate all the questions you guys are asking over the last hour and a half. Outside of I can't get logged in. If you can't log in, go to this, again, go to, what is it? support@marketingsecrets.com. Yep. Email that, and they can help you come in. But all the other questions that you guys are having that I think, are holding some of you guys back, McCall's been curating them all, putting them together. If you guys don't know McCall, she's one of my favorite speakers of all time. She's been just a super good friend. She's spoken at FHL 4 or 5 times on charisma hacking, finding your talent, finding your voice. She's amazing at so many things, and we happen to have her in the office this whole week, and so she's going to help to answer all you guys' questions. With that said, let's put our hands together for McCall Jones. Come on down.
Hello.
McCall, how you feeling?
Wow, my mind is blown. This has been crazy.
You've been watching all the comments in the back too flying. How's everyone? I've been trying to watch them. They're going so fast. How are people feeling back at home?
It feels like you guys are feeling really great. We're going to answer a bunch of questions. I'm going to ask you guys questions, and we're going to cover a lot of different things. What I'm working on, if you guys can keep putting questions in the chat, really helpful for me and for the whole team. We are gonna grab all of your questions and make sure that we can answer them over the next 5 days. They're very, very helpful. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna jump around a little bit. I'm gonna ask you guys some questions because we have a lot of different levels here. Some of them are gonna be beginner questions that people are asking. Some of them are a little bit more advanced. I'm guessing, Todd, you're gonna be answering some of the-
Hey, I know some advanced questions.
I don't know what that means, so can't wait to do that with Todd. Some of the questions are around the actual framework that you taught. So we're just gonna kind of jump around. Cool. And then if you guys still have questions, please put them in the chat. Yeah, put them in the chat because the whole team is gonna comb them and we're gonna make sure that we can answer those through the week. So, okay, let's go through these. So the very first question is, there's a lot of beginners here who are a little bit nervous that they don't have something to start with. So some of them think I don't have anything to upload at all. Or some of them have said I don't have a business. I don't have something to sell yet. What should I start with? What if I'm starting from nothing? I'm reading some of these chat things that I've screenshotted. What if you don't have any books or podcasts or VSLs to start from, or do I just start from fresh? I only have a few stories written down. Is it gonna ask me for more? How do I find these stories? Yeah.
I'll give one answer that we didn't show you everything inside Marketing Secrets yet. One thing to know is I thought it would be really fun to go and upload every course I've ever done in the last decade to the platform. So you can go and I want to learn how to, and you can go click around and you'll see all my courses and presentations, basically everything I've ever said in the last decades in there. But what's cool is we got chief of staff trained on my stuff. So you can literally go to chief of staff and be like, hey, chief of staff, I don't know where to begin. What should I do? And it'll be like, and it goes through everything I've ever said for the last decade. And it finds the actual videos and timestamps of where I addressed that. And it pops up, here's Russell talked about this 3 places. And you click on it, it takes you exactly to the course, to the video to go and watch it. Or if you're like, hey, I can't figure out how to build a list. What should I do? It's like, here's 22 places Russell talked about building a list. And you click on it, it takes you directly to that video. If you're like, hey, I don't know how to how to find my voice. What should I do? It's like, oh, here's 12 places Russell talked about how to find your voice. You click on it, takes you directly to that course, and it answers it. So these questions are all great, and you're gonna find really quickly that you need me less and less. You need Todd less and less. You need Google less and less. You just need your chief of staff, because chief of staff's been trained on every single thing that I've ever said about marketing or business or traffic or everything, and it's got it. And so you ask it there, it'll go find it in the course, pull it back for you, and hand it to you on a silver platter. So I would first off go ask chief of staff that question, and then or any of the questions, and let it go and answer it. It's insane. So that's number one. Number two, I think the biggest thing also is going into the tracked character and just telling a story. Just have some fun with that. Click the button, download Whisperflow if you can, or you can type it out and just start talking to it and just start putting it in there and just if you're just beginning, just tell one story. Like, what's one story? And the cool thing is that it'll prompt you. It'll be like, hey, tell me the backstory about this thing. Okay, tell me the aha you had. And it'll ask you questions. It's like hiring a creative director, right? A creative director who knows the right questions to ask. It'll ask you the questions in the right order to pull your story out of you. Okay, we used to have a service back in the day where you could it wasn't our service, but we'd hire these people where they would you pay them like $1,000 and they'd jump on a Zoom call with you and they would extract your story from you for $1,000. And so that's what this does. It literally software logs in there. It'll ask the questions. It'll extract your story from you. So you can do a story every single day and just start pulling those things out. And over 30 days, you got 30 full stories that are now inside your database. Or you can do 5 tonight, or you can do whatever you want. So I say those are some of the beginning things that I would do if I was just getting started and like nervous but not having anything to do.
Yeah, there's something somebody wrote. Question, if I wrote something that's unrelated to my current product, do I still put it in to get my voice, or does it need to be related? I know we talked about this yesterday of like, you were kind of answering this question just in an internal meeting where we said like, okay, what else should we upload? And it was like Zoom calls that you've had like with your family, right? If it's trying to learn your voice, it's trying to learn the way that you speak naturally, right? With your friends and in your journal and things like that. So I know you've uploaded a ton of stuff that wasn't even business related. And do you feel like that helped it create your attractive character?
So a couple of things. It helps because it's hearing the way you speak, and so that if it models your cadence when it's writing things, which is really big. But number 2 is it will try to extract stories from that. But you look at the story database, you see all the stories extracted. You're like, those ones are not really relevant because I'm telling my mom about the weird thing that Nora did last night, right? So you can go and you can delete the stories that you don't really want to have long term in your story database really fast. And so it can't get the best of both worlds. It's to pull every story, like these ones don't make sense, but you can look at that every single time and just like make sure your story database has the right stories, and you just can curate that and get it better and better over time, and more things get added to it.
Awesome. Just one follow-up question. Somebody wrote, but how do I do many audio things? Meaning, how are they writing scripts for things like videos? Isn't my voice for writing different? So do I need a bunch of verbal audio, or do I need to actual write stuff? Is something going to be different for my scripting versus my written voice?
Cool. Yeah, basically with your attractive character, you can set up different voices. So I have a book writing voice, an email writing voice. I have Russell on stage voice, kind of like this, where I'm really loud, and so you can set as many different voices as you want. And so if you have nothing right now, I'd start with like just your voice, and then start telling stories through that. But if you've written something before, like, make a writing voice. Go grab all your marketing emails you've sent in the past to your list or to your customers, and grab those and upload them in there. That's all I did. We literally, I have a folder on Google Drive that has, because every email I've written to my list, I have them all in there, and then I'd write them, and my team would go into Google Docs, grab it, copy and paste, and send it out. So I had, 10 years of emails, and so I just like downloaded them all, uploaded them all, and now it's like, and then it'll build a style sheet. So like Russell Brunson, when he writes his emails, he always says, P.S. you're just one phone away. Sometimes he says Russell, and then he has a funny thing like the AI genius Brunson. Sometimes it doesn't, and he always uses short sentences. There's always one sentence per line. He uses dots. Everything like. And all my emails, if it analyzes it, pull out the pattern, and then now when I use the email stuff, and we'll show you guys that tomorrow, when I use the email stuff, it knows exactly how to write emails like me, right? And so it's just kind of like over to like finding stuff you have and keep adding stuff. And this doesn't have to be all done tonight. This is like a never-ending thing. You can also set it up where it connects. Let's say you have a podcast. You can connect your podcast feeds. Every time you have a podcast, it'll pull it in there and keep learning. You can connect your YouTube channel. Every time you drop a YouTube video, it'll automatically grab it and pull it in there. So it's always learning, updates the style sheet in real time, pulls out new stories all in real time. So all this stuff's happening behind the scenes as you're doing it. So don't think of this as like a one and done. Like this is something that you continue always adding to it. Every time you do a Zoom call, throw it in there. Every time you do whatever, you just keep adding to it, and it gets smarter and smarter and better over time.
Yay. Okay, next. This is more of a technical question, but a lot of people are wondering, do I need to keep my ChatGPT/Claude subscriptions? They said if I do all of these as paid, Claude, ChatGPT, can I drop to the free version of all of them and then put all of the information from my accounts into Marketing Secrets AI? What am I supposed to do with my current AI subscription?
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically it depends, right? Like, what are you doing? Like, obviously, Marketing Secrets AI isn't coding for you. So, like, if you're using Claude Code, like, maybe you're keeping that subscription. Maybe you don't need that. But it depends on what you're doing in your business. But I would just recommend starting and talking to it and working with it. Like, as Russell said, you've got a couple weeks on a trial. You can play with it without paying anything whatsoever. We're paying for your tokens, right? Like, go play with it, see what you think. Like, what things were you doing before manually with ChatGPT or Claude or something that you can't do in it, if there is anything? Like, what we we have routines, we have scheduled tasks, we built in a lot of the things that a system like Manus does already into the platform. So there's a lot of things that we haven't touched on any of these things yet, honestly, but like there's tons of stuff you can do with it that you're going to discover. So I'd recommend just starting to play with it. Like, go see what you think. Yeah.
And I think we're going to get more into technical stuff on Thursday.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yeah.
Very Todd nerdy stuff on Thursday. I'm so excited.
I would say also on my side, like I was paying for ChatGPT, Perplexity, Manus, and Claude. Those are the 4 core ones I use. I downgraded my ChatGPT, I downgraded my Manus, I downgraded my Perplexity. So those 3 got downgraded, but I kept my Claude, because Claude I'm using for Claude Cowork and Claude Code, which is not part of, doesn't currently integrate into Marketing Secrets. So that's how I got in it. So I've got Claude on side, Marketing Secrets, everything else. That's kind of my 1-2 punch right now.
Yay! Okay, the next set of questions I want to dive to, it's like swipe files is kind of the category. So I'm going to read a bunch of questions that were kind of the same thing to make sure that I get this right. So with swipe files, the first question that people had is, how do you know how much they are making? So as you were going through and you're like, you got to collect things from all these different people. People in the chat were like, but how do I know which ones are poop? How do I know which ones are
I
good?
funnel hacked a bunch of poop and my
Yeah.
webinars aren't working. So a couple of things is, number one is, the real answer is I did the work for you guys. So I've built all this stuff and turned them into skills that weave into Marketing Secrets. So if you're a member, I did the work for you. If you're not a member, it takes time. Like, for us, it's nice because every single time someone would submit for 2Column Club Award, I look at their things, I look at their funnels, like what are working, what's not working. So I just have, 20, how many years have we been in this game now? 25
at least.
years?
Yeah.
Todd and I have been playing this game for a long, long, long time. And so I've been collecting swipe files. In fact, if you look at ClickFunnels, the whole funnel hacking movement was based on me teaching people how I do swipe files. I have filing cabinets full of swipe files. So like I'm always just looking at what are the good campaigns. So if I see a challenge or a launch that's doing good, like I go and I get the recordings of every single thing and I transcribe them and I put them in a folder. It's like, here's all the best challenges. Here's all the best webinars. I'm always watching. If someone's doing a webinar, I register, but I try to find, how do I become an affiliate for this webinar? Because I want to see like the stats, the numbers. Because if I join as an affiliate, usually the affiliate manager like, oh, this webinar's crushing. We did $2 million last month. I'm like, $2 million webinar. This is a good one to model, So for me, it's just kind of like looking at those kind of things, what's running actively. If somebody's buying a lot of ads to something, like we're spending $1 million a month to the VSL that I showed earlier. If someone's spending $1 million a month on ads, it's probably working, right? Agora, that the numbers of their company, if there's something actively running, they're spending a lot of money on ads. And so I'm looking like, what are people paying ads to promote? And those become good swipe files because I know that they wouldn't keep paying money consistently in ads if it wasn't working. So it's just kind of like getting to know those kind of things. But again, like I said, we're going to show this tomorrow. But the next step in this, which is creating, from the swipe file, I'm going to show you tomorrow how I've done that. Like I'll spend, to build the swipe file just for the daily Seinfeld emails, which is the tool you guys already have. I'll show you guys tomorrow. Like I spent probably 8 hours building out the swipe file to train Marketing Secrets on how to actually do the thing. And so it's all pre-built for you. Like I did the work for you, and I'm doing that on each of these things as we keep unrolling them inside the software. So we're going like department by department here on our big org chart. Because this whole thing's not done right now, but that's what we're doing is like we're replacing thing by thing, building out the systems. And so we'll kind of show that tomorrow. But yeah, that's kind of the swipe file game.
So follow-up question, is our version uploaded with your frameworks and your swipe files? You kind of just answered that, but.
Yeah, you'll notice that when you start using it, it's going to pull your voice, which you're adding tonight, right? It's going to pull my swipe files, and then it's going to have this creative director ask you a bunch of questions, and then it plugs it all in, and boom, out comes magic.
Love it. Okay, next. Okay, what are tokens? Somebody typed in the chat. How do credits work?
So credits and tokens are 2 different things. I saw somebody else like asking about that. So tokens are like a terminology that's kind of industry standard and it's really confusing, and it's basically like 4 characters, but in some cases it's actually 5 characters, and like it's like a weird calculation, right? But for us, we just have a basic credit number. So like you've got, I think it's 1,000 credits is like $10, right? So like there's a dollar value on credits, and each task you do, it tells you how many credits you've spent on that task and that idea. So you get X number of credits every single month that come in and are included in the subscription. So if you go over it, as Russell said, it's simply over his charges. Claude code, the $200 plans, those kind of things do that same type thing. You get X number of tokens behind the scenes, which they don't tell you what that is either. But it basically, you get that, and then when you hit the limit on that, you just start paying overages, or you pause and wait till next month or next window. So we just kind of are doing industry standard pricing on that, like similar to what Amanus does.
Yeah, just so you guys know, like those credit charges, like we have to pay those. Like, so like,
Yeah.
Again, we told you, you asked Chief of Staff a question, it hits Perplexity. Perplexity charges us the credits. And so like, again, we give you X amount of credits each month by default in your plan. And there's, as you'll find out later, there's $97 a month plan, there's $297 a month plan. But that gives you X amount of credits. And when you go over, it's because Perplexity or Manus or Claude, whoever's charging us, and then we have to charge you for the overages. Does that make sense? So.
Yep, exactly. I mean, like instead of paying Perplexity $100 a month for the, maybe 10 times a month or 30 times a month if you use it once a day, you use it, you just pay the one-off 30-cent fee when we actually hit it for you and do it. And then you don't have to
ends up being way cheaper for you guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. For most people, unless you're really, really hammering AI, it's going to be drastically cheaper to pay just the one-off token usage for these individual things than to manage 4 subscriptions plus. Yeah.
Okay, next. What if we have more than one business? Can we train the chief of staff to do more than one thing?
Good question. There's a couple ways to look at it. Inside your account, you can create multiple attractive characters. And so inside of like the Russell Brunson business, we've got a couple of different attractive characters set up. But also I own Dan Kennedy's company. And so I could have put Dan Kennedy as like a Dan Kennedy attractive character and be in there. So that's one way you could definitely do it. We decided to set up a different workspace for Dan Kennedy specifically, just because there's different people who are going to be logging in, the team license seats like that, they're different. So you can do it either way. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, I'm going to come back to some technical questions. Okay, how are you, and this might be a question for both of you, but how are you using Marketing Secrets AI in your own company? And the more that I saw this question, I love the story, Russell. I was wondering if you can tell us kind of the Agora story of like why you started being obsessed with AI and what prompted you to kind of create this system. How'd you figure this out?
Yeah, well, I was kind of fighting AI for a while. I was just like, like nobody can outright me. I'm the greatest, copywriter, greatest webinar dude of all time. And then last year, I had a chance to take my Atlas group. So I have different levels of master. My Atlas group, they pay $250,000 a year to be there. We took the entire group out to Baltimore, Maryland, because that's where Agora is. And again, Agora, I mentioned earlier, they're the company. They do $1.5 billion a year, selling a $49 financial newsletter through a VSL. So I'm like, I got to learn what these guys are doing. So we took everyone there. We had a chance to be with their team. And it was amazing. But what was interesting is if you look at the way their team's structured, they've got 3 different brands. Each brand has like 5 or 6 gurus underneath it. And each guru has like 3 or 4 full-time copywriters. And so their staff is huge, the best writers in the world. And they're cranking out these VSLs like crazy. And I was like so inspired seeing the whole thing. And then on the flight home, I was depressed. Because I'm like, how do I keep up with them? How do you compete with them? It's not even possible. And that's when I put on this like the Russell Brunson marketing hat. I was like, wait a minute. If I go and I find all their videos and I use AI to analyze everything, swipe files, right? Just step 1. So I did that and came back and pulled out this thing. I was like, that's amazing. And then I was like, okay, I already know my voice. So I uploaded my voice. I had that. And then I was like, what do I want to sell? I did the whole thing and I put it together and we launched this thing. And again, in the past, if I would have spent all my time, it would have taken me 6 weeks to write the video sales letter. And then to produce it, it would have been a project I couldn't even do. And we did the whole thing. It took me 4 hours to plug in all the VSL, all the swipe files, all my voice, and then 1 hour to write it. And when it was done, I was like, this is better than anything I've ever written before. So we created it and we launched it. So that was like my first test. And then I was like, okay, I want to do, so then I started training our internal team. Like, hey guys, here's how we do it. So our team started doing it. And I started training my inner circle and like, everyone's kind of getting conceptually how to do it, but they're plugging together Perplexity for research, they're plugging in Manus for transcripts, they're plugging in, and so they're doing the same thing I'm doing. And then that's when Todd and I were kind of talking. I was like, I wish there was a way we could plug these things together. And that's where this whole idea came from. Is like, we're teaching everyone how to do marketing anyway. What if we took all these best concepts, built them into one thing where now it's like all these frameworks we're teaching and it becomes software. And so, so that's kind of the thought process. We built out everything based on what I've been doing manually into a certain spot. And it's been fun because it's just gotten a spot over the last month or so where I can actually use it for my own stuff. It's like, now I'm using it to generate emails. I'm like, these emails are so good. I'm using it to write things like, VSLs. We're putting out, I don't know, I'd say conservatively probably 3 or 4 full-length VSLs a month right now across the Dan Kennedy brand, the Russell Brunson brand, the Secret Success brand, ClickFunnels brand. So like we're putting these things out and it's all happening through the back end of the software. So it's It's insane. Like, I'm a product of the product. I was telling Todd, this is the first time since ClickFunnels that I have something that we create that I log into every single day.
That's amazing.
I log in ClickFunnels every single day for a decade. Same thing with this. I'm logging every single day because it's doing all the things for me. And so that's what I'm so excited about, because it's a tool that I'm actually using. It's not like, people that create software so they can sell it, versus like, we create this for me and for our team so that everyone can be using it together. And now we're gonna like giving you guys access to it as well. So that's why I'm so excited. That's why it'll keep innovating and developing and growing with us, because we're literally going on the org chart, department to department, skill by skill, step by step, building it into it. So eventually, like, it'll run the entire marketing team. And then on Thursday, you'll find out maybe how to run an entire dev team, but we'll talk about that later.
Ooh, okay, so both for advanced and beginning people, and the answer could be the same. When it comes to like their marketing department, a lot of people saw this chart, and everybody wanted a picture of it, by the way. They're like, I didn't even know which roles I needed in my company. But for beginning people, for advanced people, and like I said, the answer might be the same. Which roles of the marketing side of this should they focus on trying to replace or build first,
Good.
do you think?
Yeah, I would say, it's a good question. I think what I would do if I was you guys is just follow along with us, okay? You notice in the software right now, we're going skill by skill and doing it internally for ourselves as well, right? So I'm spending the time, the energy, and the money to take our systems that are manual right now and archaic, that ran our social media or our ads team or whatever, and then build it, like reverse engineering, building them into software, us testing and using it, and then we release them to everyone else. And so we log into the software, look at the sprints, because basically the goal is at least once a month, and probably sometimes 2 or 3 times a month, we're rolling out new sprints. And the sprint is basically teaching us one of these positions, the structure, the strategy, how it works, and then it unlocks software on the back end that'll then make that thing actually happen. And so I would log in, look at the sprints that are currently happening, go through all those different sprints. There's already, I think, 3 of them that are active in right now. And then each time we do a sprint, we'll tell you, go do that, apply it, and now you've replaced that role with the frameworks and the software to actually run it long term, and just keep following along with us.
Well, and it sounds like one of the things that you did first too was copy.
Yeah.
Right? Is it because it took the most time? Is it because you felt like your specific AI process that you built was like just spectacular at copy? Like, why'd you decide that?
A couple things, and this is also true on the development side. Like, the most expensive people on our team were our developers and our copywriters. And so after we did the Agora VSL and I cranked it out, I was just like, this is insane. Like, I created the VSL in an hour. And I hate saying this, because like, I love my team. Like, the copywriters, we have some of my favorite human beings on this planet. Like, I will be forever friends with them. But what happened is, like, it got to the spot where email campaigns, like when we did the One Combo Club Challenge, there was a 98 email campaign and 57 text messages that had to go and be created for that campaign. And I was like, I could have like went and told my team what to do, but my AA had all the context, had my voice, had the context. I had the swipe file of exactly what I needed to do. And so I was like, I'm paying this person, like one of our top copywriters was like $250,000 a year for them to write copy. And so the same swipe file, voice, creative director, I took that, uploaded it, I submitted it all, answered a bunch of questions. I was probably 30 minutes into it. I clicked a button, went to lunch, came back, all 98 emails were written, or the text message, and they were flawless. I was going through, I'm like, I don't even have anything to edit on these. And so like, I had to go back to the email guy and like, I love you. I don't have a spot for you anymore because it took me 30 minutes. And that would have taken 6 weeks for you to do, you know? And then I went back to our full-time copywriters. I was like, it took me an hour as a VSL. If I pay you, it takes 6 weeks to do it. I can do this in an hour 3 times a month. And so like, yeah, for me, it was like looking at like our biggest, you know, the biggest cost. And so like our email, we were able to replace with me spending, 30 minutes a week on AI. The VSLs, again, an hour a week per VSL, so like we were able to like, I think when all of a sudden it was like $650,000 a year, we were able to replace with me spending 60, 90 minutes a week running the apps to do it. And so I think that's a big part. So if you have these teams, like we can start replacing it, or you can keep your copywriter and just train the copywriter. Like your job is to run this every single day. For us, it was like, it was so simple. I was like, I'm just going to do it, And so, and then the other side is like, what's nice is if you're just building a company the first time, you don't have to actually go and like hire an email copywriter or someone to write your webinars, your VSLs, like just run it through the system. Now you don't have to worry about ever incurring those costs. They're all taken care of and they're already done. So.
I love that.
Yeah, the way I like to think about it too is like, it's the same thing on the development side, right? Like there is no longer a role for a cog that is just a cog in the wheel. Like this is like going forward from 2026 out, in my opinion, with the AI revolution that's happening, cogs and wheels will be replaced. There are only room for systems managers. They have to be able to step up a level from doing input for a task, do task, output for a task. They have to move up to providing more value. Like you as an employee, as a business owner, as everyone has to move up the value chain. Otherwise, you will be replaced eventually by someone or something. And if your business resists that, your business will be replaced, like by someone else who is doing it. Like, so it's simply just a change in mindset. Some people can adapt to that. Some people are not adapting to that, but it's about being proactive. We talked about it this morning in the VIP session a good bit, but it's about being proactive as a contributor in your organization, in your business, and actually learning those skills proactively, being aggressive, taking risks, trying things. I see people like, what's happening with my data? Like, I'm worried about this and I'm worried about this. And I'm like, you have to do it or you will be out of business. So you can worry about it and be like, well, I haven't used ChatGPT yet because I didn't want to share my proprietary book algorithm. And it's like, you know what? ChatGPT can do that for you. Like, chances are it's not, your genius ideas aren't the genius ideas. We talked about this a long time in the past. Over the course of years, we've talked about how you can have a level 10 idea, but unless you've got level 10 execution on that idea, your idea doesn't actually matter. It's about a combination of execution and idea, and that's where AI can come up with ideas, and it needs your vision and taste to help execute properly, right? So it's a combination of all these things that has to be done.
Yeah. That's such good feedback. Yeah, I love that.
I love that. I want to ask a question that kind of combines a couple things from different people. It's the idea of like opinionated stuff that they're using, right?
Software.
Yeah, opinionated softwares and opinionated like emails. Basically, the overwhelming sense with this kind of group of questions is like, do I have to be good at the thing that I'm doing? So one of the questions was like, do I have to, but I don't know anything about writing emails. Like, I don't know anything about writing webinars. Like, will my chief of staff only be as smart I want to get the exact phrasing, but it's like, will my chief of staff only be as good as my content? Will my chief of staff only be as good as my own emails, right? It's like, well, Russell's emails are amazing, but my emails are not amazing. Like, how does this work? And yeah, can you both just speak to kind of that opinionated version of your stuff?
I mean, the short, I'm observing mostly on what you're doing here on this, but the system's already trained on your best practices, right? So these are frameworks which can apply. Russell's best practices. Sorry, so Russell's best practices, right? So they're trained on these frameworks, these swipe files, these details. So you're adding your voice, and then combine that with Russell's frameworks, you really don't have to like train the chief of staff on your context. We're giving you a starting point. We're not starting from scratch. If you go install OpenClaw or Claude Cowork or something like that, and you just start from scratch with no memory system and start building it, yeah, it's probably only as smart as what you put in there. But we're already bringing you in at a level of like, it's got all of Russell's memories, all of our best practices on which tools to use and when to use them. All of that's already the baseline for the knowledge for the system. And then you're adding your layer on top.
Yeah. If I want, the only thing I'll add to is like when oops, sorry, making a mess over here. When I wrote my books initially, I always tell people I never consider myself an author. I consider myself a curator. So before I wrote .com Secrets, I probably read 500 business and marketing books. I learned these ideas. I tried them. I tested them. Some worked. Some didn't work. Some were confusing. I rewrote them. I started going to seminars and teaching these over and over. And after a decade, like I figured out here's the things that work the best. And I turned it into a book. And then I gave it to people. They read it. It's like, oh, Russell curated, a decade worth of stuff and broke it down into very simple frameworks. That's kind of the same thing here. It's like you don't have to do emails or webinars or VSLs or anything. It doesn't matter. I spent a decade curating everything. And again, if you want to do a VSL, I have Agora's VSL framework that I showed you guys is built into Marketing Secrets. You can go click on one-to-many presentation, click on, and then there's like different VSLs. There's the Agora VSL style. You click on that, you can write an Agora VSL tonight based on the entire framework. I spent insane amounts of money going through and ripping 47 of the best videos, reverse engineering everything. And all you do is you just upload your voice, click the button, the creative director asks you a bunch of questions, and then boom, it gives you a VSL script based on Agoras, okay? Also, if you want a short form video like the Harmon Brothers, I went and funnel hacked, I think 30-something Harmon Brother videos and created an entire app that'll then go and create a 3 to 5 minute funny explainer video for you. And it's like having the entire Harmon Brothers staff writing you things for you, like on and on and on. So like, yeah, I did all the hard work for you guys. So all you gotta do is bring your voice, answer the questions, and then the structure's already done. And we'll show that more tomorrow. But yeah, we're trying to make this really, really simple for everybody.
So Russell level marketing with their level of voice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Plug in
I
your
love that
voice,
so much.
answer the questions, and then we'll give you the outputs and the frameworks you need to be to rock and roll.
So for this chief of staff as well, somebody asked, like, will my chief of staff, they said, what help? Do we start with the chief of staff? And what if I've never worked with a chief of staff before? How do I know what to tell it to do?
Well, we're going to be walking you through a lot of that this week, right? Like Russell's going to be taking you through exercises, processes, discussions, but there's also an aspect of with AI, like ask it things, like be like, hey, what can you do? What could you help me with? And hopefully most of the time it's going to be correct on what it can actually help you with. But yeah, so you're going to walk through it and just talk to it and go play around with it and it'll get a context.
It's funny, we did a team training a couple months back with our team about AI. It's like, everyone, like, you have to get AI or you're not going to have a job here in 90 days. And someone asked, like, well, I don't know what have AI, like, what should AI do for me? I was like, literally ask it that and say, this is my role. What can I do to 3x or 10x or 20x my productivity? It will tell you. It'll give you ideas. Like, I was like, you never have to ask me a question again. Just ask it and it'll tell you exactly what to do. Yes, like, ask chief of staff. Like, this is my role. It's my position. What I'm doing. And like, what I love, if you download Whisperflow, you don't type it. You just click it and just talk. Like, just rant like you talk to your spouse or your best friend. Like, okay, I can't figure this out. I'm frustrated. I'm confused. Russell said this and this. He talks too fast, but he said this. Like, can you explain this to me? And then click the button and it'll just tell it. Like if you look at it's funny, who was I showing? Somebody I was showing, I was talking to chief of staff with the fun button with the Whisperflow, and I was just talking, and then they got done, they're like, so you literally just talk like you're talking to a friend. I'm like, yeah, this is like, I'm just having a conversation. Like, I'm not trying to format it or say it perfectly. I'm going off in circles and like my logic's all chaos. It takes it all and then gives you back correctly. So like, yeah, you can just ramble that way and it'll give you back amazing stuff.
Something that I love about this is it feels like everything that you covered today, it feels like it's not complicated AI tactics. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't feel like I need to learn a bunch of things about AI. I more need to learn things about business for AI, right? Where you're like, I just talk to it. I talk to it and it works because I have all of these things on the back end. I think that's really cool. Yeah. Okay, next question. I'm already using AI to build websites and write copy. Do I need Marketing Secrets AI? Would I still benefit from using this?
I also use ClickFunnels, build funnels. I also use, other things to write copy, and I still use it. So, yeah, it's just you're weaving in basically. I basically become your chief swipe file curator. You know, like yeah, I'm sure you're using it to write copy. Awesome. If you would like me to pre-build all of the context, like that's what's there. There's also a bunch of other features. Like we haven't talked. It's not just writing copy, you guys. That's all we talked about so far. Every framework from these books we are weaving into software. For example, how many of you guys read Traffic Secrets? This is how to get tons of traffic coming into all your funnels. There's one core concept I teach inside Traffic Secrets. It is the most valuable traffic secret tool of the entire thing. Yet it's the one that most people don't actually do. And there's entire sprint and software inside of Marketing Secrets AI right now that literally will give you unlimited amounts of traffic for free. And so that's not writing copy or anything. It's running your entire Dream 100 backend affiliate management strategy. The framework for here is already software. It's already in there. There's a sprint and software. Okay, there's so many. So this is not just writing copy for it. Like we've talked about that because that's kind of day one's training, kind of helping you understand that. But we're turning every one of the frameworks from all the books into software inside the platform. And so yeah, if you're using copy somewhere else, that's awesome. But there's a ton of other tools. And as you will see, each month new tools are being developed and launched. Some of the ones that are in the queue are going to blow your minds. Yeah, so it's not just writing copy. There's so many more things it's doing, and you'll learn more and more over the next week.
I love that. The other thing that comes to mind is like, the only question is it working, right? Is it converting your copy or your traffic strategies? It's like, if it's not working, then chances are you need something better, which is awesome. Okay, I have a couple more kind of tech-y questions. Looking at you, Todd. This is I'm gonna love this answer. How do I stop it from hallucinating?
How do you stop it from hallucinating? Well, context is a major part of that, right? Like we're talking about how to not make poop brownies.
Yeah, no poop
All right,
brownies.
you got me to say it. All right, so so we're talking about how to not do that, and a lot of that is context, right? Like the system is trained to go out and search based on that to pull video feeds, content, book content. I think we've got almost every one of your books in there. Everything you've ever written or talked about is in the database of this.
Yeah.
So that is a first party strategy for it. So the AI models of today, like they do sometimes hallucinate, right? Like that's just simply what it is. But you can drastically reduce that by including enough context and memory and information ahead of time. And that's how we're doing it with Chief of Staff.
I love that. Can you actually talk to some of the AI ninjas? We have a lot of AI ninjas. And I've seen a couple trainings that you've done, Todd, about like the importance of context when doing like really advanced stuff, right? Because I think I understand and kind of collectively, and let me know in the chat if this is you too. I think I understand like if I'm a beginner and I'm starting from nowhere, like having things from Russell and Todd would be really helpful. But I'd love for you to touch on like somebody who is advanced, who is using AI a lot, right? What is the importance of context there, right?
Yeah.
And can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I mean, like, I think I'm the target market for that kind of, right? Like, where I'm like, yeah, I'm using Claude Code and I'm doing all these crazy things. I'm spending $10,000 a month on tokens already. Like, why do I need this? Well, I don't have access to all this swipe material, all Russell's books, all the other tools, the attractive character thing. When I saw that, I was like, I can't wait to set mine up. Like, I want to set mine up right now. Like, you've been holding out on me, Russell. Like, I want to do mine. You're like, oh yeah, I used you used my stuff to like help do the emails to send out my emails for this challenge, right? Like, you said, because you took my training on AI. So super cool. So I'm like, I can't wait to use those features. So yeah, it's stacking value. Like there's multiple tools that you need to use depending on what you're doing. Like I'm using, I use OpenClaw, I use some other agentic AI tools personally, but that doesn't mean that there's not a place for this. One of the things I'm working on that'll be in Marketing Secrets too, also is the ability to communicate with those other agents. So the agents will be able to be like, all right, go over to Marketing Secrets, find out what Russell says about this, get all his details, get all the swipe file copy from Agora. All right, cool, bring it back over here and do what we're doing over here in our agent work. So we're making it where you can do all that things. Like the Brain has the MCP servers that we talked about briefly when you were going through the slides, but like your Brain has access to be able to be used by Claude or OpenClaw or Manus or any of the others that support it.
Yeah, I love this. Okay, I'm just gonna go through a couple really quickly. So if I don't even know how to write a prompt, won't this be over my head?
No. Whisper flow. Talk to it like you're just talking to a friend, as Russell said.
Hello.
I actually think you sometimes get better results like that. Some people try and just like restrict it to like an exact sentence that they're trying to get results for. It's like, no. Let it know your thoughts because you're probably not doing a perfect job of like specifying in one or two sentences what you actually want. So just riff on it for a minute. Explain what it is you're trying to get. And that may trigger it to actually pull in different content from Russell or its own systems to actually get the result that you want. So
Yeah, the perfect prompt was like 2 years ago. That was like, you had to ask the perfect thing. And now it's like the more you just like talk at it, the better, which is nice because again, if you're still typing with your fingers, you're gonna like want to default to type slower because it's like, this is so hard. But if you click the function button and like you're hooked to Whisper Flow, just talk for 20 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it takes, and just like get it all out. And like you said, you're gonna say stuff whether you talk to your buddy or your friend that pulls in things that you're not gonna get when you're trying to type the perfect prompt. So yeah, prompting's dead. Just talk to it like you talk to a friend.
That's awesome. The next one is a quick question of, does my brain remember everything? Do I need to re-upload things for every project that I do?
So you can definitely tell it what you want it to remember. So there is a UI where you can see what it remembers, see what specifically memories are for you personally, and that have team visibility. So your team has access to whatever you put in the team area, and personal information is personal. And the chief of staff, as you're talking to it, tries to interpret what would be valuable to store for you personally and valuable to store for your team or your business context. So it attempts to do that all the time, but you can explicitly say that. You say, hey, remember this. And it will be like, cool, I remember this, logged it into the memory system, done. Like, that's all you gotta do.
Okay, friends, so for day one, I know today was all about just kind of setting up the context of AI and making sure that they can use it, because I have seen what's coming this week, and it's insane. It's so good. I want each of you to just tell me if there was just one thing you want people to remember or do before tomorrow so that they are completely set up for success, what would that be for each one of you? Like, here is the main point. You have to remember this and make sure you do this thing. What do you think?
Yeah. I'll start, and if you can throw my slides real quick. Again, the biggest thing is I know some people are like, I'm overwhelmed, a lot of stuff. I understand. We had to give a lot of context. So we have, like, if I could spend a month with you guys, we could do this. But, like, I want to give a lot of context and down to baby steps. So baby step, all you got to do right now is just this. Again, logging in, click on sprints, do the attract character sprint. It'll take you 30 minutes, follow the thing, and just start putting context in there, okay? That's all we need from right now. Everything else is gonna be built upon that. Tomorrow I'm gonna show you guys swipe files. We're gonna show you the other things, like how all these pieces go together. But again, this is the first part. So that's the only thing is just do that, and then don't stress. And then tomorrow we're gonna tell you guys about the future, because I think I see this all the time. People are like, oh, because AI, like, courses are dead and coaching's dead. And the reality is it's kind of true, right? Or they're like, hey, I'm building software, but like every time I build software, like 5 people knock it off. It takes them 5 minutes. Like, software's dead. And it's like, yeah, that's true. And so tomorrow we're gonna show you guys, like, the business model of the future. And it's crazy, like, as we were mapping this out, at first I was like, explaining, like, I think this is the future. And then I realized, like, oh my gosh, it's literally the thing we did when we launched ClickFunnels. It's the reason why ClickFunnels worked. It's the reason why I did $1 billion in sales without having any outside capital, outside funding, outside anything, because of this one thing that I don't think we figured out. I think we just like stumbled upon it, and it happened to happen. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is the future. And nobody understands, everybody's missing it. And so tomorrow we're gonna walk through that $1 billion breakthrough, because it's so, like, after you see, you're like, oh my gosh, like it'll be like lightning bolts, because it's so simple and so easy, and also you're like, now I know exactly what to do. I'm not like certain of like, okay, I'm trying to be a coach or trying to create a course or I'm trying to create software, but nothing's working, and like, it's like, we got you. This is the future, and it's simple, and as soon as you put it together, you're like, okay, I got it. And you're gonna see it. So like, just be prepared for tomorrow, make sure you show up. But again, 2 things, do the attract character sprint, it's very short, very easy. Show up tomorrow, get ready for this new business model, and then we're gonna apply all these things to that, and it's gonna change everything for you.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing I'd add on top of it is just to log in and play around, right? Like we were saying, like, oh, I don't know, what should I do? What should I ask? Like, ask it what it can do. You can connect integrations. There's some like basic onboarding things where it's like, go ahead and connect your Gmail and your calendar, and then be like, hey, what's on my calendar for tomorrow? Hey, give me an update each morning at 9 a.m. about what meetings might be important for me to review. Like, there's little things like that you can just play with and start to get used to that experience, especially if you're not used to using any other AI tools like Manus or something, right? So if you're a very beginner and you're ChatGPT level 1 that we talked about, like, go try and set something up. And then inside of it, there's some suggested prompts. AI will look at your context, and it'll actually come back and be like, hey, click this button, and it'll do this thing, and it'll research, and you can kind of see it in action and get an idea, hopefully start expanding your mind on what's possible there. So I think that's probably the biggest thing. Yeah.
I love it. So play around and get the you voice into Marketing Secrets AI. Make sure you do that sprint. Amazing. Anything else you guys want to tell our fun friends?
Yeah, no, I think I'll say, you guys, hopefully today's fun. You guys enjoyed day number 1? Type day number 1 in the chat. I want to see how you guys are feeling. Yeah. Day number 1. Actually, what is like the biggest feeling from day number 1? Is it stressed? Is it excited? Is it motivated? Is it nervous? Is it poop brownie? Like, what's the emotion you're feeling after the first day here hanging out? Inspired, I'm seeing it. Overwhelmed, excitement, poop brownie. You guys all have a new term.
I also would love to hear biggest takeaways. If you guys want to put your biggest takeaways from day 1 in the chat, we've always found, like, with challenges and things, if you can write down what you took away, you're much more likely to retain it. So, biggest takeaway, Russell is a freaking genius. Yeah. I love it. I saw something earlier too. I screenshot it for you, Todd, where it was like, oh my gosh, how do I get Todd to talk to me every single day about AI? Todd in my pocket.
Yeah, we can make that an offer. Just kidding. So good. I know. Things like this, you guys, again, day number 1's always usually a little bit overwhelming. That's okay. Don't stress. This is the context to kind of set the week out. Again, tomorrow we're going to walk you through the $1 billion breakthrough the business model. Wednesday, day number 3, we're going to start going through department by department in your marketing team and start replacing and showing you how that works. Baby steps, every single thing. So by the time day 3 is done, like, a lot of these things will be completely implemented into your business, which is awesome. Day number 4, now we're gonna go on the opposite side of this big old chart back here. This is the development side. How do you actually build software today? And we're gonna be building software. By the time it's done, you guys will actually have an app built, okay? So your marketing will be taken care of, your product team will be taken care of, and then day number 5, we're gonna go into like the AI side hustles, like how to use these skills to make some quick bank on the side, which is kind of fun too. So it's gonna be a fun week, you guys. I appreciate y'all being here. I wanna thank Todd and McCall for also participating, hanging out today. Again, if you haven't upgraded VIP, do it right now. That way you get access to software. It's AISecretsChallenge.com/VIP. That'll get you guys into the software, plus unlocks the VIP days. And so tomorrow morning, we have a VIP day an hour earlier. For those who weren't there for VIP yesterday, you'll get after you upgrade to VIP, you'll get a link for that. Show up tomorrow. We'll have a VIP session. You also get all the replays. If you're VIP, we'll give you replays out right now, but the replays expire at midnight every single night, so you can watch the replay really quick, then it's gone. But if you want access to replays long term, make sure you're VIP. Again, VIP is free. You just sign for a 14-day trial at Marketing Secrets, and that's it. So go get your VIP. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, so fun, you guys. I appreciate you all for being here. So many more. I wish we could answer every single question, but yeah, we're gonna wrap for the day. And then, so thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, McCall. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you all. Tomorrow we'll see you guys for day number 2, the $1 billion breakthrough, and it's gonna be amazing. So, all right, see you guys. Bye, everybody. What's up, everybody? My name is Russell Brunson. Welcome to the AI Secrets Challenge.